Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about drugstore products that I think are underrated, that I feel like deserve a lot more love and hype than people generally on beauty YouTube give them. Drugstore makeup is a strong passion of mine, and these are products that I think about all the time and tell people all the time, like, no one talks about these, but they're really good. Okay, so first, I guess I'll talk about these kind of in the order that you do your makeup in-ish. So the first is the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Mattifying Primer. I don't really hear people talk about this really anymore, and this is a really good solid primer for if you have oily skin, or just in general, but I have oily skin and I think it does a really good job controlling oil and just creating a good base for your makeup, but it also helps your makeup last a long time. It helps with longevity and oil control. It's not quite at the same par as my Makeup Forever mattifying primer, but it's probably at minimum half the price, and I think it's really good. It's just a touch silicone-y, it has a little bit of a slip to it, but it's not super slick. You can rub it into your skin and it doesn't feel slippery. It just kind of smooths everything out. It does have a little bit of a blurring effect to it as well, because it does have a little bit of that slip to it in it. And overall, I think this is a really solid primer. And if you were looking for a primer that is budget friendly, I mean, L'Oreal's a little bit more expensive, but I think it runs about $17 Canadian. So if you don't want to splurge on a high-end primer, I think that this is probably the best primer that I've used from the drugstore, and it does a really good job, and I just feel like it doesn't deserve, or it deserves more love. It also doesn't dry your skin out, so it's kind of just really checks all the boxes. If you like the Makeup Forever primer, but you find that it's a little bit too drying because it is quite sucks all the moisture from your skin, I think that is a little bit of a step down from that. Still does relatively the same thing, but maybe is not quite so drying. Okay, the next product that I have to talk about, I think gets a little bit of a bad rap. It's the Revlon Colorstay foundation for combination to oily skin. So there's two versions of this foundation. One is for normal to dry skin, and then one is for combination to oily skin. And as far as I understand, they're different formulas. They're not quite the same foundation. But I feel like this just gets a lot of hate. People say that it's really cakey and gross, but I've been using this since I started wearing makeup, at least 6 or 7 years, and it has remained always in my collection. It's always a go-to for me, and it honestly checks all my foundation boxes. It's quite full coverage, but it blends out really well. It's not doesn't stick down in patches or anything, or attach onto dry skin. It just blends out really smoothly, has a really good coverage, but it doesn't look cakey. It blends into your skin in a really beautiful way, and it has a really long lasting power. If I know that I'm going to be out all day, I can't touch my makeup up, I will pretty much, this is one of my go-to foundations for a foundation that I know isn't going to break up, it's not going to look weird, it's not going to fade, it's just really solid, lasts all day, but it doesn't get cakey if you get oily. It kind of just lets the oil through, but still keeps its integrity, and I think it's so good, and I honestly don't know why people don't like it. If you have dry skin, maybe you wouldn't like it, but I also don't really feel like it's that drying. I think it just sits on your skin well. It's not overly matte, in my opinion anyway. And I just think if you want a foundation that's going to blend well, has full coverage, doesn't look heavy, but lasts a long time, I genuinely think that this is go go try this out because it's never failed me and I will never be without it. And it has a pump now. For the longest time it didn't have a pump. They put a pump on it, so it's just really, really good. I really, really love this. I use the shade 110 Ivory. I do find that it's like a touch too dark for me. It's not, they don't have a really amazing shade range, unfortunately, which is really sad, and Revlon, you need to work on that. But if you're looking for a good foundation, I think that's a good. The next product that I have to talk about is a bronzer, and it's the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. I really, really love this bronzer. First of all, it's huge. It's like the size of my head, basically. And this is a beautiful, like, I don't want to say shimmery. I was going to say shimmery, but it's like a glowy. I think that's more the word I was looking for. Oh, my skin is really dry in my hand, so that's not going to swatch well. But it's a really beautiful, glowy bronzer. It has a really, really beautiful tone to it. If you have pale ass skin like me, and you find that a lot of bronzers, especially drugstore bronzers, are really quite orange, this is a beautiful tone. It's quite neutral. It's not like super cool, but it's also not like super warm and orangey. I really just think this is a solid bronzer. It's glowy, but it's not like shimmery or metallic. I've like a lot of shimmery or glowy bronzers from the drugstore I find are just like highlighter, like, or just chunky glitter. This is just a beautiful, glowy bronzer that doesn't make you look oily if you have oily skin, but it just adds a little bit of extra life to your face. And I feel like I hear people talk about this sometimes, but overall, I don't know, I just think it deserves a lot of hype, and I don't feel like it gets that. It's really, really smooth. It blends really well. Like pretty much all of the products that I'm going to talk about, it really just checks all the boxes. Like everything you want in a bronzer, I feel like this has. It's also huge, like I said, so it's gonna last you like freaking ages. I don't know, I think this is a really, really solid product, and I think more people should talk about it. Okay, so this product I have loved forever, and I literally never hear, I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this basically ever, but it's so good. Like, this is truly like a true hidden gem, and it's gonna sound really random, but just bear with me. It's the Covergirl single eyeshadow in the shade Champagne. I think I first discovered this because I heard Blair Fowler's sister, Elle Fowler, from like way back in the day, talk about this, and she said that this was a really good highlighter, and so I bought it, and it actually is really good, and it truly, even though there's so many beautiful highlighters that have come out over time, and you know, makeup is really like improved and blah 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 blah, this has stood the test of time, okay? It's good, and it's still good. If you want a glossy highlighter, this is like the definition of a glossy highlight. It doesn't have a lot of back pigment to it, which is what gives it like that glossy look, and because of that, it just looks like a wet sheen on your face. It's not metallic, it's not like an eyeshadow type thick formula of highlighter. It's quite thin, and it just, like I said, I don't think this isn't gonna like translate on my dry ass hands, but it's just, okay, we'll see if you can see that. I'll do close-ups, but it just gives you like a glossy sheen to your skin. How many times can I literally say that? But it's so nice, and it's a couple of dollars, like maximum $5, and I just feel like it's such a good, unique product, and it's just like hidden, like no one knows about it. I am trying to be the messenger here. Like if I think it is a little bit difficult to find. Not everywhere sells Covergirl single eyeshadows, and with the rebrand, I don't know if they're taking this away. I don't even know if you can still get this. I really hope you can. This is the only product that I have a backup of. I have a backup of this because it's difficult to find and I don't know like how long it's going to be around for. But if you can get your hands on it, just buy it. Just buy it and trust me. And try it on your cheekbones and tell me that this isn't the most beautiful highlighter you've ever tried. And it's also like stays a really long time. It has like weirdly long lasting power. If you put this in your inner corner, it will like be there all day long. I feel really passionately about that. Okay, the next thing I have to talk about is a settings, and it is the Pixi Makeup Fixing Mist with rose water and green tea. I hear people talk about the Pixi Glow Mist a lot. I haven't tried that. I weirdly like really want to try that, even though I feel like glowy mists are probably the last thing that I would ever like. But this spray specifically from Pixi, I never hear anyone talk about it. I feel like I hear everyone talk about all the other Pixi setting sprays, never this one. This is the setting spray that I think made me believe in setting sprays. Before I was like, setting sprays are kind of like a lie. Like, I don't know, I just felt like they were just a scam. I truly don't know, but this has sold me. As you can see, I'm literally basically finished it. I don't even think I could spray this if I tried, but it obviously like takes the powderiness away from your makeup because it's a spray, but it actually makes your makeup last a really long time. Like, this is probably the only setting spray that I've used that helps the longevity of my makeup. Pretty much every other setting spray that I've tried, including like Urban Decay All Nighter and De-Slick and stuff, I don't really feel like they actually make a difference, but this does. If you want your makeup to last all day, like, use this. I genuinely feel like this prolongs the wear of my makeup by probably 3 or 4 hours. It's so, so good. Now, all the other Pixi setting sprays I've tried have a really, really fine mist. I don't know if I just got a bad bottle. This does have a little bit of a more aggressive sprayer. Like I said, I don't know if this is like just a a fluke bottle or a defective bottle, but I think you should be willing to just trust me, be willing to look past a more aggressive sprayer and just try this and tell me that it's not the best you ever used. Like, I literally dare you. Pixi is obviously more expensive. I think this is like a $20 or so setting spray, which is not quite high end, but it's definitely not like drugstore pricing, even though I feel like drugstore pricing is like $20 an item, but that's neither here nor there. So it's not like the most affordable drugstore product, but you can buy it at the drugstore and it's not as pricey as high end. So there you go. But anyway, try it because just trust me, okay? Just trust me. Okay, the next product I have is a lip liner. I feel like I have a lot of L'Oreal products in here. Well, 3. Anyway, and this is the L'Oreal Color Riche Matte Lip Liner, and this is specifically in the shade 114 Matting Call. And this lip liner, I just literally hear no one talk about it, and I've been looking for a lip liner that's similar in tone to ColourPop BFF because that's like my favorite lip liner, and I feel like I make ColourPop orders occasionally, but because I have to, like, it's like a $50 price limit to ship free internationally, so I just can't just make a ColourPop order just for like replenishing my lip liner stock. Anyway, and so I tried this and I am truly blown away. I don't think it's quite like a color match, but the formula of these lip liners reminds me so much of ColourPop's lip liners. I feel like they're basically the same formula, but this shade is beautiful. It's so nice. It's a little bit deep for me. I'm wearing it today, but I like don't hate it and I kind of actually love it. I don't know what, it's like a deep, okay, well, deep on me brown. It's basically like a mid-toned brown shade, but it's quite neutral. Like it's not super cool toned, but it's also like not a warm brown. It's like a really, really good mid-toned neutral brown liner. So if you are looking for that, I highly, highly recommend this. It is quite creamy, but I know that a lot of people really, really like super creamy lip liners. Like it's so creamy, like you could pretty much just use this as a lipstick and be good to go. It's really blendable as well, but it also has a really, really good lasting power. I wouldn't want it to be any creamier than this, but I think it's like a good threshold. But yeah, it doesn't like fade or get like weird or bleed or anything. Sometimes I feel like the ColourPop lip liners fade a little bit on me, but this just really lasts all day, and it's my go-to lip liner now. Like I love pairing this with pretty much every lipstick that I own. I'm like, will this look good with my L'Oreal lip liner? And I really, really want to try more shades because it seems like they have a really good range of like neutral toned lip liners. They are like $11-ish, so again, not the most affordable, but I think that's relatively standard for a drugstore lip liner nowadays anyway. But yeah, if you're in the market for a lip liner that has a similar formula to ColourPop, try this. The next product that I have to talk about is a lipstick. I have only lip products from now on, but this is the Rimmel The Only One Matte Lipstick, specifically in the shade Trendsetter. This is a beautiful lipstick formula, but also a beautiful shade. It's like again like a mid-toned brown, but it's a little bit on the warmer side. It has a little bit of pink to it, but this lipstick formula is so nice. It's a matte, but it's like a soft matte. It almost reminds me of the ColourPop Ultra Blotted Lip formula, but like in a lipstick like form. What I love about this lipstick is that you can wear it just like full opacity. It's a really nice matte lipstick. It lasts a really long time. It doesn't like get weird or clumpy or whatever. It fades nicely. It's just like a solid lipstick in general, but it's really versatile. My favorite way to wear this is just by putting a little bit on and like blending it out, and it gives you more of like a blurred lip effect, and it's a really nice. And I feel like it takes a good lipstick to be that versatile. The next product I have is also a Rimmel lip product, and these are the Stay Matte Liquid Lip Colors. I have two here. I have the shade Raw Embrace and the shade Firestarter, which is a red. Obviously this is a nude. You can see that. This shade Raw Embrace is my favorite nude. I'm pretty sure I talked about these in my favorites of 2019, but I'm just going to mention them here again because they're such good liquid lipsticks and no one talks about them. First of all, if you're really pale and you're looking for a nude that's like not super peachy, not super pink, it's like a light nude for pale people, because I feel like I honestly can never find them. It's super, super good. This with a L'Oreal lipstick or lip liner that I just mentioned is like my favorite go-to nude lip combo at the moment. They're really pigmented, they glide on really easily, they're really easy to apply, and they dry down fully so you don't get any transfer, but they don't dry your lips out. They're not like a super drying liquid lipstick formula, but they still dry down. So I feel like it's kind of like the perfect marriage of both matte liquid lipstick, but also like a more comfortable feeling lip product. They also have like almost a blurring effect to your lips, where I feel like a lot of times matte liquid lipsticks just like suck all the moisture from your lips and show a lot of the texture and lines that you have. These almost like blur your lips out. It's really, really special, and they're quite affordable. The final product that I have to talk about are also lip products. They are the Annabelle Big Show Matte Liquid Lipsticks. Annabelle, I believe, is a Canadian only brand, but if you live in Canada, go and get these. They are so, so beautiful. They have a really they have more vibrant shades. I don't think they have a ton of nudes, but I tried these. I think I tried the red one first, and I was like just absolutely stunned. They're liquid lipsticks and they are matte, but they don't fully dry down. Like if you eat something or kiss someone, they will transfer. They're not like a super like no transfer liquid lipstick, but I think they are a good option for if you hate liquid lipsticks that fully dry down, but you still want a lip product that's matte and that's going to last a long time. Look no further. Really pigmented, really beautifully, like they apply really beautifully. They just glide on. Again, I mean, they aren't like a matte, like dry down matte liquid lipstick, but they also have like a blur. They make your lips look super, super smooth. Really, really nice. And even though they don't dry down, you do get a little bit of transfer, they last forever. And because they're not like a crackly, crumbly formula, you could wear these for like 14 hours and there's still going to be a ton of pigment on your lips. It's going to look like it did when you first applied them, but your lips are still going to look like really plump and beautiful. Okay, well, I believe that concludes my hidden gems, drugstore hidden gems video. When I find more products that I feel like deserve more hype from the drugstore, I will be sure that you all are the first ones to know. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.